Yeah. All right. This message applies to you at the time that you hear it. This is a collective reading. If it doesn't apply to you, it's a smorgasbord of ideas. It's kind of like Carl Jung. We're just part of a collective and everything is connected. And let's see what comes to us as we take a look at the cards. Oh, got the cards upside down. I do that occasionally. All right, what is the message for all of us in the cards right now? Sperm oil or sperm whale? I said sperm whale. All right, where we are right now. Whatever you need in life, spiritually and emotionally, it is yours. So pray for clarity, that the clouds be lifted and you be able to see the thing that you desire, particularly when it comes to love. You know, sometimes we feel alone and isolated, but it isn't real. It's an illusion. I felt sick and alone. And then I posted something on YouTube, and over 1,000 people responded. And I realized that feeling unloved and alone was an illusion. It's an illusion happening in my head. The truth of the matter is, I have many people that are praying for me, many people that love me. And so for me, the challenge is not I need to be loved. The challenge is I need to recognize how many people love me, and I need to be okay receiving that. Right? So that is the conversation, that Colleen knows that Whimsy loves her as she is, and sees that she is a truly beautiful woman, right? I see her and I appreciate everything she does for me. Every time I sit in a bath and I take some of those bath salts she sent me, oh, like today with the peppermint. Hello, I thought, Colleen, I love you. You are such a good woman. You're such a beautiful. She's also physically beautiful, right? Um, so the base card for us is lovers. It's about being able to see and recognize your beloved, right? The person that sees you and is your beloved. You know, my beloved Colleen, my beloved Golden Age, Chromatic Day. You're a very special person to me, Colleen. Colleen is the one that sees fairies. I actually saw a fairy for the first time when I called Colleen on the telephone and we did a live chat. And I thought I had gone crazy. This is a true story because I saw Tinkerbell from Disney, the amazing Disney, and Tinkerbell flies and does the thing. I literally saw Tinkerbell in front of her fly past her and behind her into her home, entering into her home. And I thought, well, that was weird the way the light and stuff. I swear I just saw a Tinkerbell fly past your head, right? So that was the very first time that I met Colleen. I saw a fairy for the first time. Now, you could say, well, that's crazy, or that was an illusion. But the only problem is with that is that Colleen said, yeah, I've got fairies all over the place. And then she sent me film footage of some of the fairies that are floating around her house. So that's why I have kind of a magical connection with Colleen, because Colleen helped me see fairies for the first time that I had actually witnessed something that was real, and that was pretty cool. And I always like showing people Colleen's fairies. If you haven't seen Colleen's fairies, it's really pretty awesome. It's awesome to see her fairies. But so your base card right now is Lovers, and that would be a message from Spirit to be aware of the fact that love is as perennial as the grass, and that if it's a choice also. If you want to have people in your life, if you want to have people getting close to you, that's a choice. And it's a choice we make every single day of our lives, whether or not we want to have, how close we want people to be in our lives, or we can choose to be miserable. I always lose that fairy picture. It's very frustrating. Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, so yeah, she sent me a fairy picture after I had seen it. I had actually physically seen the fairy, and I thought I had gone a little bit crazy. Like, I just saw a fairy fly past your head, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I have those." um, so just be aware that the message for you right now is to that you can have love in your life, and if you don't want love in your life, or if you want to feel alone, understand that it's something that's internal inside of you. That you feel that way maybe because of an internal belief system, but it isn't objective reality. So this is Colleen's home, and you'll see Tinkerbell. I'm going to try and slow it down, but Tinkerbell starts on the lower part of the ground on the left side of the camera. And here it comes. See that sparkle up? That's Tinkerbell. That's an actual Tinkerbell. What's interesting that it's different than a bug is, first off, its size. It's about this. When I saw it, it's larger than a hummingbird. This creature is approximately 4 to 6 inches, and it has wings, and it is holding what looks like a wand. Here it comes again. Up it comes on the lower left side. Up it comes. You see the wing? And comes back down again. The other thing you'll notice is not only is it larger than a bug, but it is moving away from the light, not towards the light, but away from the light. And a bug is not this size, and a bug does not hold a wand in its right hand. And it's holding a wand in its right hand. Yeah, I want to make sure you guys see this. And the other thing about this particular fairy, it's female. It's got a little dress on. Like it had a dress on. It has its hair up in like a bonnet, from what it looked like when I saw it. There was green around it, possibly a green dress, and we'll show it again. 4 to 6 inches, flying away from the light. Comes down on the side there. There she is. She comes up, she's holding a wand, and she comes back down again. That's the fairy that I saw when I called Colleen. And I saw it in color, and I saw it fly past her head. And that's the first time I saw a fairy. So, isn't that crazy? Yeah, you saw here first. No, it's not a bug. It's too large, and it's moving away from the light. So we live in a really magical place. We live in a place where we have people like Colleen who are able to communicate with entities which do not exist in this nature of being. From what I can figure out from communicating with them, the reason they went to live at Colleen's house was, according to them, there was some shovels and bulldozers that had dug up the place that they were living. There was some construction on the northeast side, past her property. On the northeast side, they had been doing some new construction and they had lost their homes, and they went looking for a new place to live. And when they saw Colleen's gardens, Colleen built a fairy garden. She built a magical fairy garden. And so when they saw it, they said, hey, what about this place? This place is great. And so they said, this is fantastic. And so a band of fairies, approximately 30 to 40 of them, moved in to Colleen's residence. And so Colleen lives with a band of about 40 fairies. They don't hurt her, and they probably bless her. So I've asked her to write. If she could just start with short stories, they would begin communicating with her. But it has gotten to a point, the fairy activity at Colleen's home, that they are now visible to the human eye, and other people can see them. And so at that point, at the point where they're actually, there are a lot of them at Colleen's house. And you can see the amount of plant life that in the background. You can just see and a little tiny angel she has over there floating. She created a world that they are like humans. They want to live in a beautiful world just like we do. And when they saw what she had built, they decided to move in. And here is the fairy again. She comes up on the left side. There she is. And she drops back down again. So there's a lot of them at her place, but the one that I saw is like a Tinkerbell, 4 to 6 inches, a green tunic, and a wand of some type. She's holding some kind of it was really weird. She flew right in front of Colleen, and I saw her. I thought I was going crazy, and then I'm like, Colleen, a fairy just flew past. Am I going crazy? A fairy. I'm not. A fairy flew past your freaking head. And then she's like, oh yeah, I got those are, I got them all the time. And then she started sending me pictures of her fairies. I'm like, this is insane. You got to write about this. All right. So getting back to your reading. Love is as perennial as the grass. Reach out and touch it. Reach out and connect to it. There's magic everywhere. The greatest love you will ever know is looking into the eyes of a dog that's just been rescued a couple of days before it's going to be put down and nobody's coming to rescue it from the shelter, right? So if you want to connect with love, deep, deep love, that experience is there for you in a myriad of ways. And it's really important for us to cultivate as much love as we can in our lives. And this is going back to this idea of why we are moving away from politics here on this channel, because it puts us in a place that is so dark, we begin to believe that love is not real, that the grace and goodness of human beings is not real, that the magical is not real, that the impossible is not real, that life isn't remarkable. And that is the toxic thing about people with personality disorders, is that they are incredibly dark energy. They're very dense energy, and they take up all of the energy in the room, and then they drag us all down into this place of incredibly depressing, awful yuck. And then what do we get? We start to not believe in fairies, not to believe in the goodness of humanity. We stop reaching out and looking for the mystical, looking for the divine, looking for love in our lives. And at that point, why be alive at all? And so many of us don't want to get out of bed. And then they've won. They've taken your life from you. They've sucked you dry. You're lying in bed depressed, smoking weed, drinking booze, zoning out on YouTube. It's all the same thing, right? And that is what I'm trying to get across here on this channel is don't stop believing in fairies. The magical is real. It's real, folks. I'm not crazy. She didn't tell me any of that stuff before I saw that thing fly past her head. And I'm a sane, rational, well, for the most part, person, right? So my point is don't give up on looking for the beautiful. And this freaking world and life itself is so unbelievable. It's so incredible. It's and by the grace of God, you get to have these amazing spirit experiences. So that's the first message that Spirit wants you to receive today, is that you can have all the love you can hold if you believe you are entitled to it. You are entitled to it. You can save a life today. You can go feed homeless cats. You can do someone's laundry who is disabled and needs help having their laundry done. You can help feed people at a homeless shelter. You can just have a prayer list. Well, Whimsy, I'm sick. I can't get out of bed. Do you have a prayer list? Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. I'm praying for you. And believe it, because your prayers and your conscious thoughts towards others do have an impact, right? Or Nam Myoho Renge Kyo if you're a SGI person, right? So there are many ways in which you can have more love than you know what to do with. Your world can be surrounding by love. You can have so much love in your heart that you're chanting for the orange guy on Pennsylvania Ave to be happy, right? I'm not there yet, but maybe someday. Your karma card is too much stuff. This is the message that keeps coming in from Spirit. Too much stuff. You have too much stuff. You have too much stuff in your head. Do a deep cleaning of your mental closets. Too much stuff. You have too much stuff. The war in Ukraine. I keep up on the news, but I don't spend 18 hours a day on it anymore. They just bombed the crap out of Crimea, right? 1,000 drones hit Russia. Boom, 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 right? But I just can't. For my own mental health, I can't. I cannot do it 24 hours a day anymore, right? So your karma card is the 8 of Cups. That which does not serve you will prevent you from completing your mission here on Earth. Think about that. If you are carrying more weight than you need, you will not be able to carry the things you need because you just won't have any room. If you are carrying more than you need, you will not have the ability to hold on to the things you need. And so you must decide what to let go of. Pick one thing that is of service to the world, maybe two or three, but focus mostly on one thing. My destiny, my karma. I didn't, hey, I didn't choose this, right? Now, we could argue is I'm a whimsy. Now, sometimes I get upset about the fact that I'm a whimsy. I don't always want to be a whimsy. But if you look at my birth certificate, I'm a whimsy. I'm a whimsy. I was created to be a whimsy. And sometimes I don't like whimsy. Sometimes I want people to take me seriously. Gosh darn, well, they just can't take me seriously. I'm a whimsy, right? And so I don't have to be Moshe Rabbeinu. I don't have to be Moses, but I have to be, gosh darn it, the best whimsy I can be. I'm going to be, to the best of my ability, the best whimsy I can be. And that means I'm not always going to be perfect, but I will try and give people the best session that I morally and ethically can give them as a reader, as a naturopathic doctor, as a medical intuitive, as a remote viewer. I will do everything in my power to perfect my skills, to master my skills, to continue to grow in my practice so that I can serve and make this world better with the light of whimsy, right? And sometimes I fail and then I beat myself up. Man, I shouldn't have been mean to that person, or I didn't give the best session I could have given. This person was disappointed, or I snapped at that. There are all these ways that we can disappoint ourselves. We can disappoint other people. And then we just have to show ourselves grace, apologize. I'm sorry. I snapped at someone at the Buddhist center today because I got lost. I'm having a horrible day. I couldn't find this place. Well, we've always been on Yam Hill. Oh, the driver left me on Beltane, or whatever the name of that street is, right? Belmont, because his GPS gave him the wrong. It was nobody's fault. You can blame GPS, right? But I was in a foul mood. I walked around lost for 10 minutes. I have no idea where the hell this place is. And then I was asking people. By the time I got to the Buddhist center, I wasn't feeling so Buddhisty. I was like ready to hurt somebody. I don't want to be here. And also I was sick. What do I learn from this experience? Whimsy, if you're sick, maybe you should not have gone to the Buddhist center. I know it's a drag. I know this cold has been going on too long. And I know you're tired of being sick and you want to get out and do stuff, but maybe you should have just chanted at home and not try and overdo it when you're not feeling well, Whimsy. Because you went out, you got frustrated, and you hurt somebody, right? So that would be an example of carrying more than you need to carry. If it does not serve you, let it go. So in the end, what matters? The amount of love you create in the world, the amount of human connections you create in the world. And if you're not doing that now because you're being bombarded by the Orange Menace or civil war, now they're starting to have a civil unrest in all over the Middle East, right? The Middle East is always a mess. The poor will always be with us, right? Sorry, I'm getting over this thing. Cultivate love. Believe that you are worthy of receiving love. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made. Tell yourself, I will work it out. I am a competent adult. I am scared. I will move through the fear. I will find people I trust to help me come out of this. But I will come out of this. Right? You will work it out. Let go of that which does not serve you. Focus on mastering one thing in this lifetime that is of service to the world. Cultivate love. Your first house, your immediate environment at this time is your karma has ended. You can decide today that you've had enough. Chromatic Daisies has had enough. She's got more love than she knows what to do with because she's rescued 10 kitties. Her mind is racing, so the message from spirit is we want to see you racing. So find a racetrack and start. What I'm hearing from Chromatic Daisy is that her meditation practice is moving meditation. So in nature, walking, breathing, moving, racing, start doing that walk. Start thinking about Broadway, sing Broadway musicals. That's always fun. It's a great way to get your lung capacity up is to start singing Broadway musicals. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. Right? Walk it. You'll scare the chipmunks, but that's okay. You can't sing a tune, but that's okay. If your thoughts are racing, your mind wants to race. Let yourself race. Get yourself breathing, get yourself moving, but know this to be true. That which the horrible has already happened. The horrible has already happened. It already happened. Whimsy already got defrauded by her psychopathic ex-husband. Now I have to take responsibility for my part in it. I knew he was a psychopath. I was lazy. I thought, well, I'll give him another chance. I'll write another check. What the hell? Right? I'm really mad at myself. Like, why did I do that? Why'd you do that one? It's because I was tired. And, he was a warm body, we have to take part in what was going on with me that I signed up for this. But know that the karmic wheel is over. So whatever you had happening with you right now, I got some good experiences out of being with my sociopathic ex. Everything was a lie. Every story was a lie, but I heard some great stories. So there you go. That's a benefit to me, right? He told the fantastic stories, right? It was all bullshit, but I liked the stories. So I stuck around for the stories, right? I'm not a victim. I chose to be there. And then what am I really mad at? Am I mad at my psychopathic lunatic ex, or am I mad at myself for sticking around? Okay, Whimsy, forgive yourself. You stuck around because you liked the stories. Okay, so you hung out for 11 years in the land of fairy with a lunatic. And that's what you got out of it. You got some stories, you got a cuddle, you got introduced to theater people, right? But now you're entering a new karmic state, right? In the sense that you have the wheel of fortune inverted right over you. And so everybody watching this right now, something very powerful is happening to you right now. A major decision has come to you. That's what I know for sure. Your life is not going to be what it was because you will figure it out. And because you're going to stop beating yourself up, because that's really what you're upset about. Don't beat yourself up. You got something out of that. And that's okay. It's okay that you had a lunatic ex. It's okay. Okay, so you were vulnerable. So learn from that. Learn from your vulnerability. You were young. You were naive. You were learning the human experience. Okay, great. Congratulations. You got to have that experience. Are you mad at yourself because you think that that was the best you deserved? Okay, so forgive yourself. Now you've changed that. Now you recognize that you are the Buddha, and you're going to continue to polish that every day. Om Namah Shivaya or Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I acknowledge and see that I am divine love, and I'm going to live in divine love. The karmic wheel has changed for you. You had some great experiences. It wasn't all bad. Come on now. Think about all that great theater the lunatic took you to, right? I got introduced to some great theater. Blythe's Spirit. We saw a great performance of Blythe's Spirit, right? You know, some of you are going through health challenges right now. Things are a little bit rocky. There are a couple of things that you can do to help with some of the rocky stuff that's going on with your health, including me. There are things you can do to build up your immune system. Make sure that your blood sugar is stable. Really, be clear about that. Keep your vitamin D levels up. One of the messages I've been getting from Spirit a lot right now is to increase your oxygen. A lot of people are not getting enough oxygen in their systems right now. So I'm feeling like a lot of people are going through some rocky stuff regarding their health. And I'm feeling that it's going to be a bit of a challenge, like, whoa. But I'm also feeling that you can learn through this challenge and you can come out of this challenge. And the main thing Spirit wants you to do is to work on deep breathing, deep inhalation, and deep exhalation, right? To really focus on your breathing, your chanting, and nourishing soups, low sodium, keep your blood sugar stable, and chanting and prayer work. And miracles can happen when you do prayer work. I see myself as whole and healed. I see myself as whole and healed. I am whole and healed. I receive this healing. I receive the healing. Breathing. Watch your immune system. Put yourself on a news diet. Oh, right. You can't avoid the news 10 minutes a day. That's it, man. Do not wallow in the news. The rest of it is a full-time job to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. The best way to stop the psychopaths, the best way to win this war is love. To be a loving person, to find an animal that's terrified. I saw this film footage of this poor dog. He was barking hysterically and nobody was coming for him. And oh my God, he was so traumatized from being in that shelter. And I just thought, oh my God, would somebody please take this dog? And the dog was about to be euthanized. And they were like, please, somebody take this dog. This is a good dog. Pit bull, right? And I was just praying. I can't take the dog. Not with my physical, like I'm here in Portland. It was somewhere, God knows where, and I got a cat, and it's just not going to happen. But I just think there are so many ways that we can have love in our lives. Every day I say to my cat, I love you and I appreciate you, Mila. You are the most incredible cat. I love you. I am so, the older she gets, the more I just I love you. I appreciate you. Some of you have kind of abandoned your, the parts of being alive that are a drag. I feel like some of you don't want to deal with the parts of life that are a drag. It's like, oh my God, I got to start a new project regarding concerns about my finances. Oh, I don't want to do my taxes. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I've got to work on my financial savings. Boy, do I know what that's like. Yeah, I depleted my savings a lot. Not happy about it at all, but was it worth it, right? I also feel that many of you are overcoming addictions. Many of you are overcoming addictions, addictions to TV, addictions to news, addictions to marijuana, addictions to alcohol, addictions to people, ending relationships, feeling that you finally have closure. I feel also that many of you are overcoming issues of extreme anger. There's an anger issue here. I get angry. I beat myself up left and right. All this self-loathing. What the hell is that about? Right? It's like, I got to stop with that. That's a bad habit I need to put away with, right? Anger in Chinese medicine is associated with liver congestion. Anger is associated with liver congestion, and it can be, right before you have a menstrual cycle, there's a lot of liver congestion, and that's why women will often get PMS before a menstrual cycle. In Chinese medicine, that's considered liver congestion. There's also anger and frustration regarding issues of loss of money. A lot of inverted cards today. Wow, all these cards are inverted. That's so weird. Hopes and fears. You sometimes question your own mental capacity. If you're worried about your mental capacity, again, I would watch blood sugar and make sure your protein you're having adequate protein. Blood sugar and protein. You will figure it out, Chromatic Daisy. And the final outcome for you is the day-to-day. Respect yourself enough to give yourself the time needed in order to heal your life. You got that, Chromatic Daisies? Respect yourself enough to dress well. Even if you only have a couple t-shirts, take the time to clean your clothes. Iron your clothes if you can. Put a little makeup if you want to, right? Brush your hair, make your bed. These are things I have to remind myself of. It is a full-time job to treat yourself the way that you deserve to be treated. Are you treating yourself right? Are you brushing your teeth 3 times a day? Are you flossing? Are you eating protein for breakfast? Cheapest protein, boiled eggs. Peanut butter if you're a vegan. Mung beans. Right. But know that properly taking care of yourself is a full-time job, and you may have to learn to did you clean your nails and trim them? See, Dr. Anderson always has to have thin nails. This is something that doctors do. We don't usually have long polished nails. We usually keep them short, pared down so that they can be clean. That was something, I was a foster kid, and I often will have to relearn how to, because I was neglected. I didn't have a mom. So I've had to teach myself. I often will neglect myself out of habit, right? So learning not to neglect myself, learning to trim my toenails, trim my fingernails, floss my teeth, brush my hair, make my bed, do my laundry, sweep the floors, cook a nutritious meal for yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive. Quinoa and tofu is not that expensive. If you can't afford tofu, try red lentils. You can get them at most food donation centers. They have bags of beans, right? Chopping carrots and steaming them to get your beta carotene up. walking in nature, breathing deeply, listening to mantras, being kind whenever you can. Right? This is a full-time job. And then on top of all of that, you must focus on mastering and education of your chosen profession. Now, regarding issues of your chosen profession, according to the Akashic record at this time, many of you are starting new careers or new professional avenues. So that could be that many of you are starting side hustles. And the great thing about a side hustle, if you are on Social Security, is that an extra $500 or $1,000 a month can go a huge if you are struggling on Social Security. So I see many of you starting side hustles that could start off as new careers. And then the final message for you is do not sweat the small stuff. So again, it goes back to that idea of learn to let things go. That which does not serve you, let it go. So that is your reading, and I hope it gave you some clarity today. Yeah. Did that help? Did that give you guys some stuff to ponder and think about? If you need to come in for a reading, you can find my information, Dr. Whimsy Anderson on Booksy.